Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Bullion. Joining us today is my good friend Florian Grummes, founder of Midas Touch Consultant. Florian, welcome back, sir.
Thanks for having me, Ivan. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a huge pleasure having you on. I wanted to get you on to talk about everything that's happening in the gold and silver market. There's so much excitement happening right now with gold hitting new all-time highs, all the talk about Fort Knox being, audited, and if the gold is really there. But first, let's start off with gold. What are you thinking about the new all-time highs? Are we going to continue? What's your outlook?
Well, my outlook has been since months, basically since 2 years already, that we're going to see 3,000 at some point. And it looks like it's going to happen rather sooner than later. Most likely, gold has a very supportive seasonal window here into, let's say, mid of March, mid of May. So usually that's where we've often seen a top. So yeah, and don't forget, silver hasn't shown up to the party yet. So I think we are still in for a few more weeks at least of continuing rally here. Can we see sharp pullbacks? Yes, anytime. I mean, the market is very overbought. It's been a massive rally since the lows in December. Gold is up $350. So a pullback. Last week we've seen two pullbacks, $80 and $60 within a few hours. This can happen anytime now. That means leverage traders have to be really careful here. But at the same time, the rally is still continuing and there's no sell signals in place. Instead, we have an embedded bullish stochastic. On the daily chart, it looks like we're going to see 3,000. I think the market wants to see 3,000 rather sooner than later. And we have a price target at $3,080, which is out of this big 13-year-old cup and handle pattern. So yeah, I'm still very bullish here. In the short term, I think rally will continue into spring, maybe even early summer.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people talking about, the record buying levels from central banks. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. It's no secret. The Chinese are coming back since November. I think they officially started buying gold again. Other emerging market central banks as well. And most likely, even the American central bank is buying gold. If there's going to be an audit at Fort Knox, they might have to rush some gold bars there. So yeah, it's quite an interesting setup. I think we haven't seen anything like that. It's probably history what we're witnessing here. We know that there's big struggles at the LBMA. It seems the gold in the right size is not at the right place. So we've seen outflows from the LBMA to the COMEX. At the same time, a buying spree in China due to the Chinese New Year, the year of the snake. So yeah, there's a lot of physical buying. And I mean, gold bugs know this for years and decades. Personally, I'm 25 years studying this now. We know that lots of these paper shenanigans, it's all not really there, the gold. We know that most often 100 to 200, not paper ounces of gold, let's call it paper ounces of gold being traded for one real physical ounce of gold. And yeah, it looks like this is creating that stress and that constant buying power that is coming into the market here. So yeah, it's all bullish. And of course, if the Fort Knox is being audited and there should not be these 8,000 tons of gold, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. So yeah, lots of bullish reasons here at the moment. We
Yeah.
are over again. We have, of course, also high levels of optimism, generally speaking. But the interesting thing is that the general public in the Western world is not really participating. You can see this, that the GLD holdings have not changed over the last few months. So as you rightly pointed out, the main driver is central bank buying here and Asian physical buying.
If you're a gold owner, you already know about all the ways precious metals can hedge yourself against financial instability. Monetary Metals is revolutionizing how people can invest in gold and silver. Right now, there's opportunities for you to earn 4% interest on your gold paid in gold in their marketplace. Now's the time to secure your wealth in an asset that the government can't inflate away. Join thousands of investors earning interest in physical gold and silver every single month with Monetary Metals. Grow your gold over time so that you're not just preserving, but growing your wealth in an asset that can't get inflated away by just printing more money. Visit the link in the description below to get started now. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the Fort Knox is such an interesting it's such an interesting case because Elon first started, well, Zero had started tweeting at Elon and said, "Hey, you know, what happens at Fort Knox? Is there actually the gold there?" And then Elon says, "You know what? We should do a live video walkthrough through Fort Knox to see if the gold is actually there." Now, what happens if they get really audited and let's say the gold is leased? Or the gold is not actually owned by the Americans, what do you think the repercussions would be?
No, I mean, I think it would create a lot of stress in the gold market. It would create a lot of attention at some point. I mean, for years and decades, the public has been sleeping on that topic and has just believed in the paper money system. And as we all know, a fiat money system is only based on the confidence
Yeah.
of the people and to a certain extent of on the force of the state. So yeah, if the confidence is lost, I mean that's going to be crazy. So I think this can definitely be or could become a driver that takes gold indeed to five and $10,000 down the road. Yeah.
Do you think it can be repriced? A lot of people online are talking about, oh, if the gold's not at Fort Knox, there's going to be a revaluation of gold. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, it's very complicated. I'm not really deep into all these kind of like politic setups in America, but I mean, they might try to monetize gold, reprice the holdings. I think there could be a lot of moves being made, but at the same time, I mean, what we are witnessing is historic here with the Trump and his administration attacking the bureaucracy like we've never seen before, I think, in history. So it seems that they are serious about it, and we probably might find out a lot of weird stuff down the road, even
Yeah.
more than we already have seen the last few weeks.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking.
So
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you. Now, what is your biggest, with all the chaos that's happening in the world and all the, you know, instability in the markets that we're seeing, what is your biggest concern right now in the markets? Is it interest rates, real estate? What's your biggest concern?
I don't have a real concern, to be very honest, right now. I still believe that we are in a cracker boom. I still believe that overall everything's going higher. If you look back, any ounce of silver, any ounce of gold, any index stock that you would have sold over the last 10, 20 years, in hindsight, it was a mistake because everything is higher. Any Bitcoin that you have sold, everything's overall, maybe not in comparison necessarily over the last 1 or 2 or 3 years, but over 10, 20 years, everything's higher.
Yeah.
Everything's becoming more expensive, and I don't think that this trend will change. So, you need to hold on to your assets. Can we see a pullback in the stock market that pulls down everything else? Yes, of course. We're very overbought in many ways. But then again, if the Trump administration is successful with like cutting down the bureaucracy, I think it will free up a lot of free market resources and powers, and that can actually drive us in a new golden century here. So it's interesting. It's I understand that many people are afraid, but then again, I hear so many people being afraid of a recession and inflation and higher interest rates, and it still doesn't feel like at the end of a huge euphoric bull run where everybody's bullish and greedy. So
Right.
I think there's still more room to go, at least in the short term. But of course, you always have to be a little bit careful since markets are very overbought. I don't have any real thing that I'm afraid of right now. If you hold physical gold and silver, you are safe anyway, anytime.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. Now, before you go, Florian, I'd love for people to connect with you. I'm going to put your links in the description below, but where can people connect with you?
Well, first of all, my website, it's minus consulting.com, where we post daily, weekly, monthly in-depth research on gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Then we have a Telegram group where we post daily calls on gold and silver. It's a mastermind group of investors from all over the world, mainly focuses precious metals, mining stocks, as well as crypto. And yeah, I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, and on Substack.
Yeah, no, it's such a huge pleasure. I'm gonna put the links in the description below. Everyone watching, highly recommend you go watch Florian and please connect with him. But Florian, thank you so much for coming down, and I'd love to have you on in the future as the market develops.
Anytime. Thank you very much, Ivan, for having me.
Talk to you soon.